country slipped into a crisis, Sai Sudha and her team Covidu Thalai stepped up to meet the challenge. Covidu Thalai is a volunteer group in Chennai comprising of 100 plus volunteers. They came together with a singular idea of supporting patients and their families in whatever ways possible. They helped people in finding beds, blood, oxygen supply, food, and also offered free teleconsultation and counseling. They have also assisted the government of Tamil Nadu with multiple small projects. NewsX proudly recognizes second wave superhero Sai Sudha.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX's Second Wave Superheroes. Today we have with us Ms. Sai Sudha Chandrasekharan. She's one of the co-leads in COVID Relief Group, which is currently working right now in Tamil Nadu. Thank you, Sudha, for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Kaushika, for this opportunity.
So please tell us something about COVID and what current projects are you guys working right now?
So COVID literally translates to Vidudala is freedom in Tamil. So freedom from COVID. So that's what it literally translates to. Today we are about, we started the volunteer group about 4 weeks back. Today we have about 80 plus lovely volunteers, doctors, engineers, lawyers, entrepreneurs, retired people, students across the spectrum. We have a lot of people. We have all come together with a singular idea of how can I help patients and their families who are in distress now? How can I help somebody who is helping? We do a lot of projects. We try and help the government of Tamil Nadu also, wherever we can, to see if we can take out even a spectrum of their burden, a small speck of their burden, and see if we can, ease them. We are trying to do that as well. We have had a good opportunity to work for some lovely causes. Our volunteer groups, we have about 10 different groups that helps patients who call us or who fill up forms on our Twitter handle as well. We help them find bed, help them find leads for oxygen, ambulances, food. We even had some people call and ask us about cremation grounds and centers as well. So that is one part of what we're doing. We also have a team of volunteer doctors and counselors who are on call 24/7. So anybody who says, or we find random leads on Twitter that we say somebody's asking, we ping them proactively and ask them, listen, would you like a doctor consultation? Immediately one of our doctors will give them a call. We help with triaging and screening process as well. These are all the volunteer work that we have done. Some of the other initiatives that we have done is in the last 4 weeks, we have been able to adopt a slum, Slidapet slum area, get together a lot of donors and possible people who can help them. So today we are feeding the slum area about 300 people, 2 meals a day, for 2 months. That is a responsibility we've taken up. We've helped raise funds for schizophrenic patients who are affected due to this displacement in their life because of the pandemic. We've helped raise funds for 2 auto annas in Trichy who we found out were ferrying patients for free for this particular cause, and in the end they did not have anything left for them. These are all some of the moments that touched us. We've been helping them individually. Apart from this, we are also doing a huge donation drive to see if we can help donate oxygen concentrators to the people in need and organizations in need. It could be government entities as well as the private COVID care centers or old age homes as well. We try and see wherever we can help, whoever reaches out to us, we think we can help, we try and pitch in.
That's great, actually. So how can one reach you? Like if in Tamil Nadu someone needs help, so what kind of, are you active on social media? Do you guys have a contact number that one can use to approach you?
Yes, of the 70 plus people, 80 plus people we have a dedicated 7-member social media team who is super active, was super active on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. On all the 3, we are called COVID. So anytime you ping us 24/7, you will get a response almost immediately.
So In this pandemic, I'm sure that everyone has faced difficulties. Everyone is going through something or the other. Do you want to put through a message during these tough times? What kind of message do you want to address the public?
See, there is one request that I would like, to put forth is, this is such an unprecedented time for all of us, for you, for me, your employer, my grandmother, the government as well across the world. So if we are not a patient, if we are not somebody in distress, please do, step up. If you have the time, please help. If you don't have the time, try and make some time to see if we can help, somehow. Our time could be somebody's life, is something that we are seeing daily on the ground, and every morning it's a little bit of an emotional moment when we see all the people who we have been able to help. There are some people we try our best, even after giving the help that they want, the patient succumbs as well. So that it's a mix of everything all of us are going through. So if you think you can help, feel free to step up, not just for COVID. Like, there are plenty of other organizations and ways. Find a way to help and give them your time.
Thank you for joining us, Sudha. I mean, kudos to your entire team for doing such important work and during these tough times. I'm sure everyone will try to step forward and do what they can. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kaushik.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
A second COVID wave of the pandemic battered India. Neeraj Datta, an environmentalist and social worker, worked on providing COVID leads. He, along with his partner, compiled 400 to 500 leads every day and helped innumerable people as the pandemic gripped the country. NewsX proudly recognizes second wave superhero Neeraj Datta.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I am Fiza Jain. Today on the Second Wave Superheroes, we have with us Neeraj Datta, who is an environmentalist and has been helping people during these COVID times to connect to various resources. Hello, sir. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me over here.
Okay, it is our pleasure. So, my first question to you is, what really motivated you? What was the idea behind it?
So basically, this movement was started by one of our mentors. His name is Manish Pandey. And Manish sir basically was the main brain behind covidresource.in. So we were probably one of the highest manufacturer of verified leads across the web. We had our own website. We had our own Twitter page where we posted leads on an average of around 400 to 500 leads on a daily basis. So we never expected that we had to do this, but all of a sudden, it was around, I guess, the last week of April when we started seeing a lot of influencers, retweeting a lot of, tweets which were based on SOS for help. So we figured out when people are coming out to help, why can't we as common humans, right? And then we slowly it took us generally around 5-6 days of time to understand the situation in the country, because to be very honest, we never expected that the country would be seeing such a disastrous phase, whatever might be the reason. And hence then we decided that let's do something for the nation, and we started with a team of around 30 members, majorly people from corporate schools as well as colleges. And within 6 days we ended up being a 293 member team from various parts of the country, all coordinating through WhatsApp. And by the end of our journey, where we were actually verifying leads, calling a lot of resources and verifying all those leads, we ended up verifying around 5,800 leads in a span of 28 days. So it was basically divided. We had a specific 60-member calling team who actually called and verified all those leads. Then we had a 20-member team who actually mined data from the internet. And we had a specialized team who actually handled all the plasma cases. Now the plasma therapy has been removed, but in those times, plasma therapy was very much important. We had a specialized team who was handling plasma cases. We had another specialized team who were handling direct SOS calls on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. They were directly handling all those SOS calls. So yeah, it was a properly managed team. And the most surprising part was more than 70% of the members in the team were from school children. And that is what, motivated us the most. And that is what, kept us going. And one thing by the end of the journey, one thing that I can say is these youngsters who were part of the team are going to be the leaders of tomorrow for sure.
Well, so how is it working with the school students and the young people of the country?
The most important ingredient of carrying out this entire process was leadership and proper human resource management. And whenever I build a community, I've even built a lot of communities in the past when it came to my wildlife and environmental projects. I've always focused on not only showcasing my leadership qualities, but also making sure that people who are working with me, they also get to learn from me and my team members. So when we were working with school children, we were nothing short of an online disaster management team, right? See, every call we used to dial either used to save the time of a patient or used to save the life of a patient. Because for example, if somebody wanted an oxygen bed, after calling 10 numbers, they used to get around, one or two quality leads who actually had the resources. So either we were saving life of a patient or the time of a patient. So these young kids of schools, the way they grew up with time, with every passing day, the way they started taking responsibilities was something that really took me by surprise. And in the first, after we completed the first 20 days of the journey, now calling leads, calling for 2 hours, 3 hours every day is a very taxing job, right? And there were a lot of professional callers who were keeping their corporate job aside and doing this, right? So on the 20th day, we actually had to lay off each and every we had to lay off each and every member of the calling team, right? Because they were calling straight for 20 days. So now next what happened was we received another team of around 120 members. Now this time what I did was I completely cut myself off from the entire operation. Now, to all these young school and college students whose average age was somewhere between 16 to 20, I gave them different sorts of responsibilities and I made them lead the group, right? And they did it fantastically.
Okay, so if you don't mind telling me, how has the journey been till yet? Like for you, for your team members, as you've been talking about, that you've been renewing your team. There have been a lot of people on social media connected with you. How has it been?
Honest, if I talk about the entire journey, there were a lot of things that I learned when it comes to leadership, when it comes to management, and when it comes to handle any situation, right? Now just imagine you're sleeping at your home at night, and 2 a.m. in the morning there is an SOS call that somebody needs an ICU bed on an emergency basis. Now how you wake up from your sleep and make sure that they are getting the resources is something that is very crucial and very critical, right? And not everyone has those skill sets in order to to handle such situation, right? So to be very honest, through the entire journey, and not only me, each and every member who were working as a part of the team, they learned a lot of things that I think we might not have ever learned in the past. So it was really an journey full of learning, full of ups and full of downs, full of tense situations. There were a lot of point of time when we had to take some crucial decisions, right? For example, you have two cases. One is to help someone with plasma, and second is to help someone with ICU bed. Now, if I want to help someone with plasma, it's generally going to take 5 to 8 hours or maybe 1 or 2 days. Now, if I have to someone with ICU bed, it might take around 1 hour or 2 hours. So here we have to take that mental decision. It's a very taxing thing. We have to take that mental decision that should we help the patient who needs the plasma, or should we help a patient who needs the ICU bed? So in all this situation, I believe that each and every team member learned a lot of critical things about life, gained a lot of skills.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir, for giving me your valuable time and discussing the great things that you've done for India. And indeed, the people like you who help India as a country and have come together and helped India fight such a big pandemic.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.